Geographically and culturally, Vietnam can be said to be one of the most diverse countries on the planet. This presentation will discuss the current culinary culture of Vietnamese food, as well as the impact it's had on the Australian diet. Vietnam was part of the Chinese Empire, where they taught the Vietnamese people cooking techniques such as stir-frying, deep-frying, and the use of chopsticks. French missionaries arrived in the 18th century and introduced foods such as baguettes, milk, butter, asparagus, potatoes, and cakes. Mongolia brought beef when they invaded from the north. Neighbors Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand introduced ingredients such as egg noodles, spices, chili, and coconut milk. In the north, there are fewer herbs and vegetables because the climate is not hospitable. There are many stir-fries and slow-cooking stews, heavily influenced by China. Central is the most distinct of the region, as the mountainous allows for productions of many spices, which makes this region known for its spicy food. Based on old world traditions, food is notably brighter and more decorative, as well as served in small dishes rather than main meals. In the south, the climate is cooler and more ingredients are available. A typical diet contains a wide variety of fruit and veg that are eaten raw or grilled. Food is typically sweeter, as sugarcane is often used more than the north. The most widespread religious belief of the Vietnamese is Buddhism, which is based on the Dharmic concept of nonviolence. This has led to the development of one of the world's most sophisticated style of vegetarian cooking. Another major influence is the Chinese philosophy of the five elements. It means that each dish is created to balance out the five fundamental taste senses: spicy, sour, salty, bitter, and sweet. Plain rice is the center of the diet. It's also transformed into other common ingredients such as rice wine, rice noodles, and rice paper wrappers for spring rolls. Beyond rice, the Vietnamese use an abundance of fresh herbs and vegetables. Minimal oils and treat meat is an addition rather than the main course. Just as essential is nuoc mam, a salty fish sauce produced along the coast that is used in most recipes. Most meats are only briefly cooked. Veggies are eaten fresh, and if they are cooked, they are boiled or only briefly stir-fried. The most popular amongst the style of cooking is boiling. Others include steaming, stir-frying, stewing, and grilling. As in all cultures, there are special occasions and holidays that revolve around food. The Lunar New Year Tet is the most important, where families prepare feasts that include rare treats like shark fin soup. From these different influences, Vietnamese food is transformed into a very unique culinary culture. There's unpredictable diversity, as each region has different influences and flavors. They also have similar flavors to neighbors Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand, as many of the same herbs are used in cooking. Vietnam is located in the tropics, and if there's enough soil moisture, crops can be grown all year round. There's 9 million hectares of arable land, and only 4.2 million is planted in rice. The most important freshwater fisheries are located on the plains of the Mekong and Bassac rivers, where a large portion of the seafood consumed is caught. The Red River Delta is for rice and vegetables. The Mekong River Delta is best for cassava, sugarcane, soybean, and maize. The Southern Terrace region is known for plantations, and the central coastal land produces coffee and tea. The United States quickly rose as Vietnam's primary export destination following a trade agreement between the two countries in 2001. Other important recipients are Australia, Germany, and France. As rice is largely produced throughout the country, it is also the main commodity consumed in the Vietnamese diet. Between 70 to 80% of what is produced is consumed, the rest being exported and sold. Seafood is another main export item, but it's not consumed to nearly the same degree as rice, as meat makes up a very small portion in comparison. Asian diets and Western diets vary dramatically. Similar vegetable consumption can be seen, but the most drastic difference is Asian diets consume a much larger proportion of rice, and Western diets consume a lot more animal products. To put this difference in perspective, Australians consume 10 kilos of rice per person per year, and Vietnamese consume 141 kilos of rice per person per year. This is 14 times more. The most notable difference between the diets are the Vietnamese have higher vegetable intake, healthier cooking techniques, less red meat, and fewer refined carbs. Overall, it's depicted as a healthier diet. Less fast food restaurant options are available, and the Vietnamese home-cooked family meals are of more importance. The main reason for migration was the Vietnam War between the North and South provinces. Migrants arrived in Australia in three broad waves. The first group was well-educated English-speaking Catholics in 1975. The second wave of refugees in 1978 was a more diverse group. They were less educated, less literate, and less familiar with Western ways than the first wave. A third wave arrived in 1982 onwards under the Family Reunion Program. There was 210,800 total that arrived after the White Australia policy ended. This influx has caused for a demand for Eastern food products to be able to be purchased locally. It's caused more diversity in the Australian diet, as Vietnamese staples and flavors have become more popular. Seen in stores all over Australia are long-life sauces, spices, oils, and dried noodle products. Several Vietnamese eateries, as well as Asian stores and markets, are seen throughout Australia, shown as just a few scattered throughout Melbourne. There is also increasing continuing exposure to the culture. This is through television, social media, travel blogs, the internet, as well as street markets and food trucks. TV shows featuring Vietnamese food are becoming increasingly popular, and they demonstrate cooking methods for viewers to learn and implement into their own cooking routine. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.